What's up YouTube? It's Matt with the Matt Out Here YouTube channel. Today we're back out here in the field and I'm going to be providing y'all with a game camera update. We got some excellent footage that I can't wait to go over with y'all. I'm also going to talk about whitetail deer and axis deer and some of the differences they have, and then we're going to discuss hunting season here in Texas. So come along with me. I hope you enjoy the content. Definitely like, subscribe, and let me know what y'all would like to see more of, and let's go. So whitetail deer are the classic North American deer, and they're found in every county in Texas. In the summer, their coats are reddish brown, and in the winter, they turn grayish. Bucks can weigh anywhere from 100 to 200 pounds depending on the region, and they grow a new set of antlers each year. The rut, their breeding season, happens in the fall and after about 200 days of gestation. Does will drop their fawns in late spring or early summer, and whitetails usually have one fawn a year, sometimes twins, but one is the most common. So axis deer are also called chital deer, and they're native to India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. They were brought to the United States in the 1930s and 40s, mostly to be stocked on private game ranches. Over time, some escaped or were released, and now there are free-ranging herds across the hill country and other parts of Texas. In their native region, the primary predator of the axis deer is the Bengal tiger, a stealthy, powerful hunter that keeps populations in check. Here in Texas, there's nothing comparable to the Bengal tiger, so our native predators, coyotes, bobcats, and the occasional mountain lion generally can't take down a healthy adult axis deer. Without those natural predators, axis populations can grow quickly, especially with their ability to breed year-round. So axis does can have up to 2 fawns at a time and may produce a fawn every 7 or 8 months. Combine that reproductive rate with fewer predators and you've got a species that really can expand its range and numbers much faster than our native deer here in Texas. In comparison, whitetail deer change coat colors with the seasons, and axis deer keep their spots all year. Whitetail antlers drop and regrow every year, and axis antlers also drop, but because they breed year-round, bucks aren't all in the same stage at the same time. So whitetail deer generally have 1 fawn per year, and axis can have 2 in a shorter span. Axis are sharper-eyed and more skittish, and whitetail often rely on camouflage and stillness, while axis are quick to bolt at the first sight of danger, which ultimately makes axis a lot harder to hunt. So axis and whitetail impact the land differently. Both graze and browse on grasses, forbs, and shrubs, but axis tend to feed more heavily on certain native plants. When axis populations get high, they can put pressure on food sources that whitetail and other wildlife rely on. Whitetail often move in smaller family groups, while axis form larger herds. Whitetail hunting in Texas is regulated with set seasons, bag limits, and antler restrictions in many counties that keep populations balanced with the habitat. Axis deer are considered exotics, non-native animals with no closed season in most counties. You can hunt them year-round with a valid license day or night, as long as you follow local regulations and have landowner permission. From a management standpoint, axis can be both a benefit and a challenge. They provide year-round hunting opportunities and excellent venison, tender, lean, and mild, but they also compete with whitetail for food, and without natural predators like the Bengal tiger, their numbers can grow quickly if not managed. Many ranchers actively hunt or trap axis to keep populations at levels the land can support. For hunters, that means more opportunity, but also a responsibility to hunt ethically and help maintain a healthy balance. For whitetail deer, archery season starts in late September and runs until early November, followed by general season until early January, depending on the county. Youth and special late seasons exist in certain areas. Axis deer and other exotics have no closed season in most of Texas and can be hunted year-round with a valid license. Always check the county-specific regulations, as some areas have special rules. So in Texas, over 95% of the land is privately owned, so most hunting happens on private leases, family ranches, or guided hunts. Public hunting exists but is more limited, and spots can fill up pretty quickly. On private land, hunters often set up feeders and blinds before the season to pattern deer, which is kind of like what we're doing here by dropping corn and the deer block. Game cameras also are an essential tool for tracking movement and timing. All right, y'all, let's go over some game cam footage. I know I've caught some pretty cool videos and some neat photos over the last couple weeks, and I definitely want to share those with y'all here. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. And the neat thing about game cams is, like, you never know what's going to show up. You can catch a badger, a porcupine, a raccoon, a fox. In my last video you saw I captured a peacock, and obviously some hogs, axis deer, whitetail deer. Those are the norm. But you never know what could show up on the game cam. So come along with me on these weekly game cam updates, and let me know what y'all think in the comments. So now I want to show y'all what my game cam's been picking up lately. We've seen a solid group of whitetail deer. Haven't seen as many axis as I would have liked to have seen. And I think in the coming weeks what I'll do is I'll drop a bale of alfalfa. Axis deer love alfalfa, so I'm thinking that if we can draw them in that way, we'll get a better representation of kind of what's out here right now. But definitely a solid group of whitetail deer, definitely a lot of little fawns, and a lot of does. A couple bucks in velvet, maybe 3 or 4 at the most, but we'll get a better gauge of how those bucks turn out more later in the season, towards the end of summer, early fall, when their horns are fully developed, and also when this heat's kind of passed through. The summer heat tends to keep a lot of weight off these deer, and when it gets a little cooler, you'll see them start packing on a layer of fat, which will give us a better representation of how these deer are going to turn out come hunting season. All right, y'all, that's a wrap on this video. Thanks for coming along with me. I hope you've enjoyed the footage. I hope y'all are making plans for either this summer or into the fall to get outdoors and maybe do some hunting yourself, or at the minimum, capture some excellent wildlife photography, because it's not always about shooting a deer. It's about getting outside and enjoying nature.